Hey, how's it going? How's everybody doing on this wonderful Monday? Yeah, I know. Kind of an asinine question. I know. But it could always be worse, right? It could be it always could be worse. The way I look at it, as long as you're still breathing and you got your health, or at least you can live your life and hopefully enjoy it. That's the key. That's the key to life in general. I think is just finding some way, whatever way, no matter how big, how small, you finding a way to enjoy every day. Unfortunately, there's some people out there that don't have an easy time of that, and I feel for them. Whether it's just depression or anxiety. I've had people in my family, and I've had close friends that have dealt with that and still deal with that, and I see how tough it can be for them. So I feel for anybody out there that deals with anything like that, and I hope it's not a 24/7 type of thing. I hope you have your, as much as you have your bad days, I hope you have good days too. And I hope maybe I can be a small part of that. So if I do, by all means give this video a like at the end of it. Don't do it now. Wait till the end. But yeah. But that's what I hope for everybody out there, everybody that's watching, is that everybody really enjoys life. Which is what I'm doing. I'm doing right now. One small part. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to open up the new Metalhead box. I wasn't sure when this was actually coming, because the last time I looked at the tracking, I got the initial tracking like it was about to be shipped like 2 weeks ago, I think. I always forget that it takes a while for this to get here, because it comes out of Canada and then it goes, I think, to... Well, this one actually says it went to New Jersey. But I was thinking at one time, one of the labels actually showed where it was being shipped from Florida. So I don't know whether they have different distributors or a third party, or just warehouses that they ship this stuff to as kind of like a staging area for it to get shipped around the United States, which would make sense because it's probably a lot easier, I would imagine, for customs if you ship a big case or a big pallet or whatever of the exact same things, the same size and type of packages, because then it can kind of just be checked as one big lot, rather than these each coming into the United States individually. It'd probably take a little while. So I'm guessing that's why they go from Canada and they go to different places in the United States before they actually get shipped to their final destination, which for this package, the final destination is here with me. Of course, we have got Vic Rattlehead right there, the mascot, if you will, a creation of Megadeth. That is obviously a take on the Peace Sells But Who's Buying album. Absolutely incredible album by Megadeth. I would say that was probably part of this is just my opinion, but I also think this might be a little bit factual. Is that was their first album. I don't think it was actually their first album, but I think that's the first that they put out where really people really started to, the mainstream even really took notice of it. But here we go. You'll find information down below in the description box about the Metalhead Box. I think I'm still subscribed to this. I don't think this is one of the... Because there's some subscriptions that I've gone on and canceled. And, you know, I might still have, like, the next box or whatever show up from those subscriptions. I think most of them have already gone. I can't remember whether this is one that I went on and canceled or not. So if I end up getting another one, then we'll know, okay, no, I didn't. But they have different sizes of mystery boxes. And I'm also, I would still love if they would actually do like prints of the artwork that they put on these bags, because that would be really cool to have something to frame and hang up. Just a thought. But yeah, I get the smallest one. I can't remember right offhand how much I paid for it. I want to say it's like between $25 and $30, somewhere in there. But it comes with 3 items. It comes with a t-shirt, an enamel pin, and then a CD. They do have bigger options you can get that have more items in them. So go to the Metalhead Box down below if you're a metal fan, whether you're a lifelong fan or whether you've just recently been introduced to metal. Which, believe it or not, I've even seen some people my age that never really listened to metal because they were, hip hop fans or country fans. And, a lot of people, especially when you're younger, I think you kind of, whether it's on your own or whether it's like with the group of people that you associate with, you might get into like one type of music and not really branch out from that too often. So you can actually get into your older years, if you will. I don't mean like necessarily like senior years, but it might be, you might be getting up into your late 20s, 30s before you really start taking notice of other genres of music. So it's completely feasible. Some people might just be getting into the metal scene. I myself, I like all kinds of music. I always have. My top music is metal, and probably right behind that would probably be classic rock. So like the 60s, 70s rock. And then right behind that would probably be Jimmy Buffett. I love Jimmy Buffett. I love the Beach Boys. And I also love, the other one to kind of round out, like I said, I listen to about a little bit of everything. But to round out, like, my tops, like if somebody said you could only listen to these types of music for the rest of your life, the one that would round it out would be like big band or swing music. So, in particular, like Big Bad Voodoo Daddy, Cherry Poppin' Daddies, Atomic Fireball, obviously Royal Crown Review, Brian Setzer, stuff like that. But as a metal fan, I openly admit that there is a lot of metal that I don't know, that I haven't been introduced to, because either it's based here in the States and they're not like a on a Megadeth Metallica scale, or it's because they're actually from overseas. And unless you go to like a specialty store, which we really don't have in my area anymore, we used to have a number of specialty music stores where you could go get a lot of imports and stuff like that. We don't have it anymore. A lot of them just, mainly because of online businesses and the big stores, they kind of went the way of the dinosaur, if you will. But unless you have one of those, there's a lot of bands from overseas that you might not be introduced to. So I openly admit they're, out of these 3 things, I might know them all. I might not know any of them. I might know one. So just letting you know. First off, we have the pin, which I do know. This fit. I'll take it out of the bag so it's a little bit easier. This is really cool. We've got a Vic Metalhead. Of course, like I said, the piece sells. Cover art right there. Megadeth. I most recently seen Megadeth with the Hue and Five Finger Death Punch. It was a good concert. It was a good concert. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know why so many people have such an issue with Five Finger Death Punch. I don't understand it. To me, it sounds like good music, and I especially like the fact that, you know, that band, they're very pro military. You know, they have a lot of respect for our military. You know, and as do I. You know, we wouldn't have anything that we have right now if it wasn't for our military. We wouldn't have, you know, even though there's a lot of crappy stuff going on in the world, if it wasn't for the military, in particular our, you know, U.S. military, I think the world would be a much more chaotic place. Now, I'm not saying I always agree with everything that our military does, or more importantly, what the people in power, if you will, and I'm not just talking like politicians, but I mean just, you know, the generals and stuff in the military. I might not always agree with where our men and women in uniform are sent and what they're asked to do, and I think a lot of times we kind of stick our nose in other people's business that maybe we don't need to. But regardless of that, I always stand behind our men and women in uniform, because they're just doing a job, whether they like it or not. That's what they signed up for. That's what they're paid to do. So they do the job. Number 2. Let's pull the CD out. We'll look at it last. We'll look at the T-shirt. It is a black T-shirt, which you're almost guaranteed. I mean, I don't know whether, I can't remember whether I've ever gotten anything other than black T-shirts. You know, it's just kind of metal, black. You know, it's kind of the go-to, right? So we have Coffin Mulch. Is that what that says? Coffin Mulch. Yep. Coffin Mulch. I love the design on that. That is really cool. Of course, I'm a big zombie fan too, and horror fan. Yeah, I cannot say I've heard of Coffin Mulch, but I like the name. It is a Gildan brand shirt. It's an extra large. I will say Gildan too, I think. You know, because sometimes you can get shirts and they don't fit, or they don't look the size in comparison that you think you're getting. You know, you can get like I like having extra large shirts, just so it gives me a little bit of breathing room, if you will. I mean, I can wear a large, but I don't know. I like having that little bit of bagginess on my shirts. And then, hopefully, you know, as time goes on and as I get more free time, I'll start making use of my gym downstairs and all the exercise equipment I got out there, and then my shirts will still fit if I put on a little bit of weight, which is the goal when I have time. All right, here we go. This is the CD. I don't think it actually has the name of the band on the front of the CD. Certainly don't look like it, unless it's like entwined in the design somewhere. On the back, it looks like it has it, but I don't. It's kind of hard to read. They should have used, like, I mean, I understand that's the design, you know, the red and so forth, but at least on the spine, maybe they should have done it in white. White lettering against the black, where you could actually see it a little bit easier. Let's see if I can. Of course, it'd help if my overhead lights, provided me. On camera, it looks like, I got plenty of light in here. But when you're trying to read something in small print, it's not really, it's kind of like a warm light instead of kind of like a cool white. It'd probably be better for reading to have like a cool white or like a natural light in here. But let me pull up. Alright, looks like the Alright, looks like maybe what was on the back of the CD is maybe the actual record label. I think it says nuclear something. On the edge of the CD it says Melt Wrote, KNELT ROTE, and then Alterity, ALTERITY. So I'm guessing maybe the band name is Melt Wrote, and the CD name of the CD is Alterity. I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe if I look inside, it will help out a little bit. Whichever case it is, again, this is one that I have not heard of. But the one great thing about getting this box is I do get introduced to a lot of bands that I haven't heard of. And, I make a habit of then taking them and listening to them when I'm going back and forth to work. I've been introduced to some killer metal through this box. Yeah, so it looks like the name of the band is Melt Wrote, or is that what I said? Melt? What did I say? Yeah. Melt Wrote. And the CD is Alterity. 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 Oops. The little liner thing. So there's the CD. Where'd the liner go? Alright. And it looks like it just has the lyrics in it. Looks like a couple of the songs are very short. Or at least the lyrical portion of the song is very short. Although probably not as short as what I would imagine is probably holds the record, the Guinness Book of World Records for shortest song, at least in the metal genre, and that would probably be the Stormtroopers of Death, their song Diamonds and Rust. Literally like just two or three quick riffs on the guitar, and then they say Diamonds and Rust, and that's it. But I will be interested in checking these this CD out and looking up Coffin Mulch and checking them out. Of course, I know Megadeth. I've seen them numerous times over the years in concert. I've got I want to say 5 or 6 of their CDs. But yeah, I think I got a new one coming out here soon too, or they're working on a new one. So, one of those old thrash bands. A lot of those old thrash bands. Thrash had its heyday, and then it kind of went down to where only people that really listened to metal, really paid attention to it, or stuck and paid attention to what those bands were doing. And I'll admit there's a few bands that I didn't even realize were still around. Like Prong. you know, late 90s or early 2000s. They kind of just fell off the wayside. I never heard anything about them. I just figured they kind of broke up and whatever. But no, they're still around, still putting out music. So it's cool. Like all the old thrash bands. Still wish Slayer was still around. I was blessed to see them, at what I believe was their actual last show of the tour at the Nutter Center down at Dayton, Ohio. You know, Slayer, Ministry, Primus, and then Phil Anselmo and the Illegals. Excellent show. Anyway, that's it. That's all for the video. Enough of me babbling. If you enjoyed the video, give me a thumbs up. If you're into metal and you never heard of the Metalhead Box, by all means, check out the web address you'll find in the description box. Go see what they have to offer. You will not be disappointed. Again, whether you're a hardcore metalhead that probably knows every band that's ever done metal, this would be a good way to get your hand on some merchandise from those bands. Or if you're like me and you like a lot of metal, but there's a lot that you can still be introduced to. Or if you're somebody that's just getting into metal and you want to expand your horizons within the metal genre, then this is definitely a good way to do it. So, check it out. And if you do check it out, then come back to this video and leave a comment down below and let me know whether you too subscribe to the Metalhead Box. Outside of that, if you're not a subscriber to this channel, by all means subscribe. The next video I have coming up, I will be opening up a 50/50 autograph box from I Want This Stuff. So it is a 50/50. I believe they did 16 boxes. That's it, 16 boxes. I think it's supposed to have 3 or 4 Funko Pops in it. And you have a 50/50 chance. Because 8 of them, there were 8 big hits. So you have a 50/50 chance at getting a box with one of the big hits, one of the autographed pops in it. So that'll be up next. All right, that's it. As always, everybody look out for yourself and everyone around you so that we all have a much better chance at staying safe and healthy. Till next time, see ya.